So let's talk about the purchase of a car when you finance it, all right? You have $20,000 car loan, okay? So you have a car that's worth $20,000 asset, and then you have a loan liability that's worth $20,000. So you take that 20,000 minus 20,000, your wealth is zero. Goose egg. Now here's why the purchasing of liabilities, especially with depreciable assets, really hurts your wealth or net worth. So follow me here. You purchased this car for $20,000 and you took out a loan to cover the cost of the car for $20,000. So you have an asset worth $20,000, you have a liability worth $20,000. Net worth, your wealth is zero. So then what happens literally the second you drive that car off the lot? That car is no longer new. It's now determined a used car. You bought it and then you drove it. That's a used car in the rest of the market's eyes. So it loses 5 to 10, if not more, percentage of its value as soon as you drive it off the lot like that. Let's assume that it loses 10% of its value as soon as you drive it off the lot. What happens to your wealth equation or your net worth when you finance a car like that? You have a $20,000 asset in the car. You have a $20,000 liability in the car, okay? Net worth zero. All of a sudden you drove it off the lot. It's the first day you own the car, right? Oh my God, I'm freaking on cloud 9. I got this new ride, man. About to go get all the girls, whatever. I'm about to go pick up my homies and freaking just all that, right? You about to have a good time. But what happens to your wealth while you're in that euphoria of the new car? What happens to your wealth? 20,000, 20,000. You drive it off the lot, it loses 10% of its value instantly. Boop. Now, that car's only worth $18,000. And you still owe $20,000 on that car payment. You now have a negative net worth. Your wealth is negative $2,000 in that example. Okay? You see how that liability ends up crippling your wealth? But if you're income focused, what you're going to do is you're going to say, oh, I can afford the payment. I make X amount of dollars a month. The payment is X amount of dollars a month. That I can afford the payment. That is what gets people focusing. That's people focusing on their income and expenses rather than their wealth and their assets and their liabilities. Okay? So that's just one example of people taking their income and buying liabilities. So what you really should be taking your income and doing is buying assets. Okay? Now, again, what's an asset? Assets either appreciate or depreciate, and then later they can be sold for cash value. And when you say assets, I'm not talking about your cell phone. I'm not talking about the television in your room, your bed, a table. No. I'm talking about like a house. Or if you were a business or running a business, a piece of equipment. Usually an asset is something that helps you produce more money. Usually that's what an asset is. In terms of a car, helps you drive to work. It helps you produce money, okay? That's an asset.